Sienna. Let's see. Your last relationship was in 2020.
Yep.
You haven't dated since until now. You broke up with him after 2 years because he was emotionally, physically abusive. He would get kicked out a lot. You'd have to sneak in. You'd buy everything.
Yeah.
You bought everything for him. What did you buy him? Did you buy him a PS5 or something?
But he would ask me to buy the PS5. He would ask me to buy, like, if we're going out to the movies, I'd pay. Food. If he wanted something, he would send me the link for it.
So you were simping for him?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, okay. So you would you begrudgingly buy shit for him? Like, would it cause arguments?
Yeah, he would get mad if I wouldn't.
Oh, he'd get mad if you wouldn't.
Yeah, but like, it's my money. Like.
Yeah. You'd buy almost everything. He would call you names. He wouldn't let you go outside in shorts or a tank top.
Yeah.
Okay. He left me for someone else one time, and I got back with him. So he cheated on you, or?
Yeah, he did.
Or he broke up with you and got with somebody else?
No, he didn't even break up with me. He
just cheated?
was texting her and sent me a screenshot of them texting, and didn't say anything after that. So I was just like, damn.
Okay. You said that he wouldn't talk to you if you didn't have sex with him.
Yeah.
How would that play out?
So, like, if I went to his house and I think he would, like, expect sex.
Weren't you his girlfriend?
Yeah, but doesn't mean I have to have sex all the time with him.
Does being a girlfriend mean you have to have sex with him all the time? It's expected?
Well, I mean, here's what's interesting, right? Obviously, if you don't want to have sex, 100% it should be consensual. That's not what I'm saying. But if you've asked a guy to be in a committed sexual relationship with you, and you've asked him to not sleep with other women, and then you start withholding sex or stop having sex, there is to some degree an expectation that if we're in a committed relationship, having sex is a component of a committed relationship.
No.
Mm-mm.
You can be in a committed relationship where you don't have sex with anybody else, but that does not mean every time I see you, you have to have sex with me. And then if you don't have sex with me, it's not withholding sex because I'm committed to you in a relationship.
It just means you don't have sex.
If I'm not in the mood to have sex right now, you're withholding sex from me. That's not, no.
Well, there's degrees to this. What I would say, though, is if you don't match up in terms of if he wants to have a lot of sex and you don't, then one, I would say he's perfectly within his right to leave you. But it is kind of like if you're asking a guy to be committed to you and he has a certain sex drive and you're not prepared to fulfill him sexually, then that's your call. But
then he shouldn't be in a relationship with you. But if he knows you don't want to have sex 5 times a day.
But why do y'all push so much for commitment, but you're not prepared to sexually satisfy your partner? And I think that should go both ways.
It shouldn't always be sex, though. Like, it could be like in other ways.
You can be in a relationship without having to have sex every time they want to have sex.
Right, but I mean, there is to some degree, like, wouldn't you want to sexually fulfill your partner?
Yeah, but
when you're in the mood for it, yeah.
Yeah.
When you want to have sex, then yeah, I can sexually fulfill my partner. But if he wants to have sex 10 times a day and I had sex 1 time a day and I'm done, it's not like I'm sexually withholding anything
then you shouldn't.
from him.
You just shouldn't be together. But
well, then that's his decision. If he's the one that wants to have sex more than that many times a day, it's not my fault for sexually withholding something from somebody. It's them having an issue with me not wanting to have sex all the fucking time.
There ought to be some acknowledgement of men's higher sex drive. Men, generally speaking,
that's an issue with the men, not the women. That's not an issue with us. That's an issue with them.
But part of securing commitment from a man is if you're going to be in a relationship with each other, you need to meet each other's needs. Like, see, this is one of the differences I think between men and women. Like, if let's say I'm the sole breadwinner in a family, and I'm providing for my wife, we have children, I can't just say, babe, I don't really feel like going to work today. Babe, somebody breaks into the house. I don't really feel like defending you right now. Can you, like, it's not about what I feel like and don't.
But work and breaking into a house has nothing to do with sex. Sex is something voluntary on both sides, where two people want to have sex together and they want to have a good time. I've had sex with people who have wanted to have sex and I didn't want to, but I still did it, and it is fucking insufferable. So
right, you shouldn't do that.
Exactly, but you're saying that we're withholding sex from our partner if we don't. That's what you just said.
Doesn't that put a lot of like emotional distress on the girlfriend?
How so?
Because you're like, you have to.
I'm not okay. Look. If you otherwise have a good sex life and there's a couple days that you don't want to have sex, that's totally fine. Like if you're not feeling well, you're feeling a little sick, you've got a headache, that's fine. I guess what I'm trying to say is if it gets to the point where you're constantly starting to say no to your boyfriend and he wants to have sex, again, sex should be 100% consensual. But what I'm saying is, like, if you are not fulfilling your partner sexually, they are within their right to break up with you.
Yeah.
And they're within their right to feel upset that you're not meeting their sexual expectation in a monogamous, committed relationship where you've demanded that he only gets sex from you. Because hold on.
Devon Jackson donated $100. To the ladies, how long would your relationship last if every time you asked him for sex he said no, but every time he asked for sex it happened?
Wait, to the ladies, how long would your relationship last if every time you asked him for sex he said no, but every time he asked for sex it happened?
It would not be a relationship.
Not very long.
I don't really get it, but not long.
We're going around the table on this. Go ahead.
Not entirely sure I understand the question.
Yeah.
How long would your relationship last if every time you asked him for sex, he said no, but every time he asked for sex, it happened? So only when he was in the mood.
Oh.
Is it possible? Like,
that's fine.
I mean, that's kind of.
Is it okay? Like, I think it's okay to try to have sex if you're not in the mood. Like, sometimes I'll have sex if I'm not in the mood. I don't know. Like, you can get into the mood.
If you expect your partner to fulfill your sexual needs and desires, your partner probably also expects you to turn her on. So, like, just because you're turned on doesn't mean she is. So it's like, do something that would turn her on. Like, create the environment that makes it work. And don't just expect your partner to fill 100% of your needs without your effort.
True.
That's not really what we're arguing about, but okay. What about you?
Thank you.
I would technically be in a marriage, so that would be difficult.
What would be difficult?
It would, if every time I wanted to have sex, he didn't want to. That would be tough for me. So we'd have to like go and figure that out.
Are you saving yourself from marriage?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Look, again, everything should be consensual, but what I'm saying is that if you're in a relationship with somebody and they're constantly denying you sex, like turning you down for sex, that's a pretty valid reason to end the relationship.
Was that the situation though?
What?
Like,
were you constantly denying him? Like, were you constantly saying no to him?
No, it was just constant all the time. So I like would get like, I don't want to do it.
And then
all the
he would
time.
get mad.
Yeah, and he would.
So that sounds more like it,
Yeah.
not healthy. For him to get mad at her if they were you were having sex on a regular basis.
I would go over to his house just to hang out, and then he would like try something with me, try to go in the room, and I'd be like no, and then he would just go on the video game and not talk to me the rest of the time.
Yeah,
so he would
that's
try.
not
But
healthy.
so you said no, like because you just weren't.
Well, I don't always want to have sex when like he always wanted to have sex, and I don't always want to have sex.
Oh, okay.
16-year-old boy. That doesn't.
Yeah, that sounds very immature.
And he would use that like he'd be like, I'm a horny little like teenage boy. What do you expect?
How often
from
would
me?
you guys hang out?
Like 5 times a week.
Okay, I mean that's pretty regular.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to say, but I mean, yeah. Steve, what about?
Yeah, it wouldn't last long, but I'm comparing, contrasting. I'm thinking of my recent situationship when I was in Miami for a bit, and I was basically living with her. I had a hotel that I was staying at, but we were just with each other, going to the gym 24/7. And a couple times, she wanted to have sex with me, and I wasn't in the mood. And she would do the exact same thing. She would like go into her room, I'd be on the couch, and she'd do the silent treatment with me.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I just got done with the gym. We were there for 2 hours. Or not even that, like an hour 15. I'd normally go for a lot longer. And if I don't get my workout in all the way, like mentally, I'm not in a good place. So it's funny hearing your perspective and then think I have this same exact thing.
It's like okay to say no, and nobody should be ashamed of saying no. I mean, there's obviously sexual incompatibility, which like if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But there's also self-pleasure. Like you can make it work if it's not all the time,
But I think it also highlights the fact that people need a healthy way to handle rejection, because in that both cases, they both equally felt rejected, which means they felt hurt, which is totally fine and valid. But you need to process and deal with your hurt and rejection rather than blaming and thus in some ways attacking the partner, which is with the silent treatment, or I guess in both cases it was the silent treatment.
Well, look, again, it should be 100% consensual. I guess what I'm saying is, and it wasn't clear to me like how frequently it was, but like me personally, if a girl was constantly saying no, I would just probably be like, we're sexually incompatible, we don't have the same sex drive, maybe we can try to make it work. But I think, because the biggest thing I would want to avoid in a relationship, and I would recommend men avoid in a relationship, is a dead bedroom. That spells like, that's a huge red flag for a relationship if you have a dead bedroom. So basically just never, you eventually stop having sex with your partner. And this is typically falls on the man wants sex, the woman doesn't. So it's something that men have to be careful of in a relationship, because that's not good. Yeah. So,
and the Bible says not to do that. It addresses both parties, but it says like you have to think about the other person and like be willing to share your body with them.
What does it say?
The verse itself is like, do not withhold something, like do not withhold your body from your partner. Your body is your partner's, and your body belongs to them, and their body belongs to you. Something, I'm paraphrasing, but it's something.
Okay.
Does that mean specifically sex? Because from my understanding in the Bible, sex was only created for procreation. Now, we're obviously not talking about procreation. It would be like recreation would be lust.
Can I look up the
It does. We don't need to look it up. It's okay. But yeah, okay, whatever. Let's see. We had he tried to blow you up with fireworks, apparently. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I can see why you weren't one. He's trying to
break up with
blow you up with fireworks.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, look, I mean, just the final thing. Look, if there's a mismatch when it comes to sex, just break up. Like, whatever, it's fine. Find somebody else.
Should have.
Yeah. So you can't. Okay, I ended up breaking up with him because he started saying misogynistic things. It was just the last straw for me. What was he saying?
He was saying, oh, I don't know if I can talk about it.
What?
It's one of the banned things.
Misogynistic things?
Well, it's about like what a girl's wearing and whose fault it would be.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
He started making like
I see what you're saying.
Weight comments about me as well.
Oh, that's not very nice.
Yeah.
Turn off. Like,
I'm
why
sorry.
would you want
I'm sorry you
to
have to deal with that.
Yeah, he's out of here.
Yeah. And he tried to blow you up with fireworks.
No, yeah. There's some things I can't say that he.
Yeah.
That's just the gist.
Yeah. That's a yikes. That is a yikes. Okay. Well, I guess it makes a little more sense now. I was just assuming everything else. Okay, well, whatever.